Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Adults Get Type 1 Diabetes Too. And for this video, I thought that I would show you how to change a Dexcom sensor. I've had my sensor in my left arm for almost 3 weeks now, which is ridiculously long. Dexcom actually only recommends that you keep your sensor in for 1 week. I usually go 2 weeks. I don't typically go 3 weeks, but since I had surgery, I haven't been really feeling like doing much of anything, so I need to get that changed out. But anyway, it's been 3 weeks and it's still giving me awesome results. I kind of hate to change it just because it's giving me great results. So to change it, I pull up my Dexcom receiver, and it says I am 141 right now. And then I push the middle button, and you scroll down until you see stop sensor. And then I push that. It'll ask me is it okay to stop it? And I say that it is. And then it will just kill the sensor basically. So then I can put that aside. And then my sensor has been forever on this arm, needs to come off, so I'm just going to peel this one off. And I usually do this in front of the mirror, not in front of a camera, so. Oh, also while you're peeling it off, sometimes this helps. I have these adhesive remover wipes, which can be really great for getting the stickiness off. Sometimes it really feels like you're pulling your skin off, seriously. So sometimes these are great to use to remove it. So I just keep pulling that off. And you're supposed to pull from the top of the D, like the top of the D down. So what I do is where it says Dexcom, I just loosen around it first. And again, I do this in front of the mirror usually, not in front of a camera, so it's a little tricky. So I apologize for that. And okay, so it says Dexcom up here, and from the top of the D, I'm going to pull this way, because you want to start from the D and pull down. It just helps it come out better. So I pull down and out, and no big deal. Just take that off. And I always clean the site with an alcohol wipe after I'm done. And then I continue to use the adhesive remover wipe on my arm just to get the adhesive off of there. Sometimes it takes a while to come off. And I'll do that more later, but that's just what I usually do. Okay, so then on this part, I've got to remove, this is the Dexcom transmitter. You do not want to throw this away. I don't know how many times I've almost thrown it away. But this just comes off of the old sensor. There are two, like I think of it like a frog. That's what helps me. Like this is the head of the frog, and this is basically the butt of the frog, and it's two back legs. So it's two back legs have to come off first. So you just pull out and it unclips there, and then you pull out again. And then, again, this is the head of the frog, this is the butt, and it just comes out of there. This then, your transmitter, then needs to be cleaned with an alcohol wipe, just to make sure that it's sterile. So the back of it's there, you just clean the back of it off with some alcohol, and then you do not want to touch the back of this after it's clean, just it's sterile, so you don't want to get it dirty again. And then I just set that aside for a little bit. I used my left arm, so now I'm going to go to my right arm. And again, I'm going to use an alcohol wipe to just clean the area where I want my sensor to go. It's going to go somewhere back here, so I just clean the whole area really well. And then I'll let that dry for a few seconds. For my Dexcom, I use something called Skin Tack, and this stuff is awesome for keeping on in like your Animas or Medtronic infusion sites as well as your Dexcom. So this is fairly dry, so I'm just going to take this out, and it's got a little sponge type thing on the end. I'm just going to kind of squeeze off the excess because this stuff is very runny and it goes absolutely everywhere. Okay, and then I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to put this, but that's fine because I've got adhesive remover wipes too to use. So I'm just going to smear it kind of all over the back of my arm where I think I'm going to put my Dexcom. Some people say to leave like a small area for where the needle goes in. I've never had any trouble, so I don't. I just smear it all over my arm because when you're doing it yourself, it's really hard to line up where the needle will go in and where there's no adhesive. So I just smear it all over, and that works best for me. Okay, and then I let this dry for several minutes before I insert my sensor. So I'll be back in just a little bit to insert my sensor. Okay, so I have allowed the Skin Tack to dry on my arm, and I now have my new Dexcom sensor out. So I'm just going to open it. And pull out the sensor. And they always come kind of folded like this, so you've got to straighten this thing out. Bend it down for a while so that's nice and round and not crinkled. Okay, so before I remove the tape, the sticky on the end, I'm going to show you this kind of on my arm. I want to make sure that the plunger is facing up in this direction. It just makes it easier for me when you're doing this by yourself to be able to get this part out later. So next I'm going to remove the adhesive. And again, I usually use a mirror for this, so this is definitely different to be doing this on camera. But hopefully I can do it and get it nice and straight and not mess it up. So I think I'm going to go right about there. And you just push straight down. And then you're going to smooth out the tape all around it. Got a bit of a crinkle there. Again, not easy to do on camera. Okay, so then this little piece here comes off, and so I'm going to pull it straight out. That's just the needle guard, the protective guard. And then on the count of 3, I'm going to push this white part in and then pull up on this part to remove the needle. So here we go. We'll go 1, 2, 3, go. And then pull up. So you hear 2 clicks. Didn't hurt at all, so that's a good thing. I'm always nervous about it. It never does hurt though. Okay. And then you push these 2 clamps in down here. And then you kind of have to wiggle it to get this to come off. So I'm not sure I'll be able to get it on camera, but I'll try. I just lean down to make it drop off. So after that's done, then I'm ready to put in my transmitter. First of all, though, I need to make sure it's not bleeding too badly, and I don't think that it is. It usually doesn't bleed that badly. Okay, so here's my frog again. Again, this is I call this the head. I call this the butt because it's got like 2 little legs on the back, so that always helps me. So I'm going to put the head in first. And then I'm going to set the butt in. And then I use this little tab here to lock it in. So I'm going to pull it up. So I go click, should click once or twice, not once, twice. And I can see that it is locked in. And then this part's the most tricky part. You have to twist this to get it to go off, to get it to come off. And it's not very easy, especially to do one-handed. And my new Dexcom sensor is in. Yay! So I am good for several more weeks, which is exciting. Okay, so then I go back to my receiver. I push the middle button and I scroll down to Start Sensor. And then you'll see up in this corner there is a little pie graph. And it takes about 2 hours, but once that pie graph is complete, then it'll ask me to check my blood sugar twice and input the numbers into the receiver. And then I'm all set. So please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.